Science and democracy are considered the pillars of Western civilization. Both were born in Europe and both have universal aspirations. And in fact, albeit with different luck and many vicissitudes, they have been exported to the rest of the world. Therefore, it seems reasonable to take for granted their compatibility. After all, one could argue that science and democratic societies cannot in principle conflict. Science deals with the explanation and prediction of facts, namely the growth of knowledge. Societies are instead interested in the use of the knowledge thus acquired, so as to achieve the purposes that have been freely chosen through appropriate institutional and democratic mechanisms. However, this would be a hasty impression. First, society does not only use the knowledge acquired by science, since it has also the task of financing scientific research. Conflicts may therefore arise as to what research should be funded. For example, many believe that it's wrong to sacrifice pure or basic research in favor of applied research, aiming at satisfying the needs of society. Second, scientific community is not always unanimous, and it's far from rare that components of scientific community make alliance with components of society. In debates on global warming, biotechnology, nuclear power plants, homeopathy, GMOs, to name just a few examples, democratic procedures and scientific research are intertwined to such an extent that scientific controversies turn into political and social conflicts. Third, in the academic world, radical constructivists believe that the alleged scientific truths are actually the result of social negotiations or power relations. If you want to understand why a theory has been accepted by scientific community, we must not look to scientists and empirical evidence, but to society as a whole. Thus, many scholars criticize science precisely in the name of democracy. Sometimes they even speak of the necessity of democratizing science. Fourth, many empirical studies have questioned the ability of scientific experts to act as advisors. These are just some of the problems that invite us to analyze the relationships between science and democracy. Hence, many interesting questions arise. For instance, what role should we assign to the scientific expert? How can we avoid slipping towards forms of technocracy? What should the correct policy concerning scientific research be? Do we need to involve the public in decision-making concerning research policies? And if this is desirable, how could it be implemented, given that scientific knowledge is often esoteric and difficult to understand? The conference tries to answer these questions through an interdisciplinary approach, which involves scientists, philosophers, sociologists, and legal scholars.